Hello, welcome to RCL Wireless News. Latin America carriers should explore m-commerce beyond m-payments. This is what Paramin Research pointed out in its latest report. I welcome Marcelo Kawanami. He is senior analyst at Paramin Research. Marcelo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Roberta.
Why should Latin America telecom operators embrace m-commerce?
Well, this is a result of an analysis that we've done over the m-commerce landscape here in Latin America. One of the things that we've noticed is that we analyzed actually was the customer experience process. And each of these stages that the customer and the merchant, the retailer in this case, have to pass through. So you have the customer in the research process, the selection process, the payment process, the payment, which is the purchase process, and then the delivery of it, the post-payment, and the feedback. And what we noticed basically was, Roberta, that the payment process is just one single stage within the entire customer experience. Not only from a customer perspective, but also from a retailer perspective. And one of the things that we observed was that the payment process, although extremely important, of course, within the customer experience, it is not a key attribute for a customer to select a provider, to select a retailer. The method of payment is important, of course, but in terms of the attribute, the other attributes such as a good customer service, a customer to provide a good feedback, a post-purchase feedback on it, and the research process of the customer counts much more in the decision making of the customer instead of just the payment process itself. And what we observed was that a lot of MNOs, operators, and also different institutions, they were focusing too much, like in the development of mobile wallet, mobile payments, and forgetting somehow that you have other opportunities that goes beyond the payment process, which is just one specific stage within the entire customer experience cycle. Yeah.
And from which point should they start? Because we see some moves across the region of carriers releasing some strategies on m-payment, but what you were saying is that they should move beyond that and maybe embrace the whole supply chain, all of it. So
Yeah.
is there any point that where should they start from?
Yeah, that's a very good point and question that we definitely, which was definitely the focus of it. There's no one specific focal point that they should embrace, but instead of it, they should look for the entire value chain of the customer experience. For instance, in the research and selection process, you have many companies, you have specific MNOs that are developing their own branded mobile app stores. By developing their own mobile app stores, they are supporting the mobile merchants, as we can say, to promote themselves. It's a unique platform that will help these mobile merchants to not only display their brand, but also will facilitate the users within the client base of this operator to have access for this mobile merchant. And this can be done by two different ways, either through a mobile app store, for instance, or an operator close in a partnership with a mobile merchant, such as Uber or any other that we have nowadays, and embedding these apps already in the smartphones that they sell. This is something that will promote the marketing and communication process in the research and selection stage of the customer experience, and that will definitely facilitate in the entire customer experience cycle. This is the prepayment, let's put this way. And also you have some other services that not a lot actually, but a few MNOs are already focusing on in the post-payment process, which I would highlight the development of management services that MNOs can provide to those retailers, such as dashboards with the usage of the application, where are located these clients, some key informations that will support the retailer to better develop and enhance the customer experience, by knowing more about who are their clients.
Talking about the survey, what is the survey based on that allowed Parami Research to come up with a device?
We combine a lot of the reports that we have, and we also conduct an extensive primary research with the stakeholders of this market. So, for instance, one of the triggers that we noticed was definitely the increase of the smartphone sales within Latin America. Out of the over 700,000 700 million handsets that was sold in the region in Latin America, 62% of them were already smartphones in 2014, and this will increase to 83% by 2019. So this was definitely one of the main triggers of it. Combining with that, I would say that the increasing adoption of 4G LTE devices. The 4G LTE devices, it will present a compound annual growth rate of a CAGR of 65% within the 2014 and 2019 period. And we noticed that the adoption of 4G technologies with the smartphone would definitely enhance the usage of mobile commerce, because the customer that's definitely one of the key attributes. For you to have a good customer experience in a mobile platform, you have to have a good connection. You have to have a good service. This is the base of it. And we noticed that this was definitely, those two attributes was definitely one of the drivers for that. And apart from that was definitely the increasing usage of e-commerce platforms. Not talking about m-commerce now, but the e-commerce itself. According to some numbers from the Chamber of Commerce of some countries, we observed that countries such as Brazil, Peru, and Chile will present a growth of over 20% on their e-commerce markets for 2015, and this rate will reach over 40% in Colombia for 2015. So we have all these drivers combined that leverage us to better analyze the mobile commerce environment, especially because within the e-commerce market, a lot of the e-commerces, they have a lot of these online merchants. I would say that the large ones, most of them already have a mobile responsive website that are easily accessible on a tablet or on a smartphone. And you have two types of mobile merchants. You have the ones that are mobile responsive, which they have adapted their online platforms to mobile devices, and you have the pure mobile-based ones that are purely, mobile apps. And we noticed that a lot of the e-commerces, the vast majority of the large ones have already a mobile responsive platform. And adding apart from that, we also noticed, as you could see in the article, a lot of interest from mobile merchants in expanding their operations here in Latin America. We've seen the emergence of different mobile apps here in Brazil. Talking a little bit about Brazil, as I'm based here. So we have from Groupster to Uber to a lot of the Fidi also have developed like a mobile platform as well. So we do have a lot of these mobile of these merchants becoming mobile merchants, and a lot of the mobile merchants planning to expand their operations within Latin America. So I would say that all those drivers combined supported our analysis and served to us as a methodology for the report.
And would you say carriers should partner with those merchant stores to come up with some interesting offerings? And also, do you know and can you tell some well-succeed initiatives in following this thought?
Yeah, very good point. In terms of the partnerships, It really depends. It really depends of the strategy that these operators is trying to explore. As we talked in the beginning of our conversation, we have different stages that they can explore. Definitely, partnerships is something that I've observed to be one of the common places adopted by operators. So we have the Team Brazil, for instance. They have the Team App Store, and in order to leverage their mobile app store platform, they've closed a lot of partnerships with specific providers. A very interesting one that I read recently was with uBook, which is it is like a listening reading book system. It is an app, so it is voice reading of books, and they closed a partnership with this mobile app to be available in their mobile app store. So by closing these unique partnerships, they can also develop unique content for their users. One of the key attributes, in my opinion, now is that content is becoming the chief in terms of differentiator among everything. We have we've discussed this a lot with also advertising companies. A lot of them say that creativity is already a commodity. Everybody's creative. You know what differentiates one advertising company to another is definitely the content that they are capable for developing. And in terms of the operators, all of them already provide subsidized mobile devices, so the users can purchase like a smartphone or a tablet. They are subsidized by their plans already. That's not a differentiator factor from one operator to the other. And one of the things that I've noticed through this research was that they're more and more trying to develop different. They're more and more trying to differentiate themselves through content. And in order to have this type of content, they do need some partnerships. So you have, for instance, this case that I've mentioned to you with Tim Brazil. You have in Mexico, American MNOs Telcel has closed a exclusive partnership with Uber there. And this partnership involves not only by them embedding the application on the smartphones that they sell, but also they've developed special plans, data plans for Uber drivers. So I mean, this is content. This is
Mm-hmm.
specific content they are developing through these partnerships to really differentiate themselves competitively, speaking between or the other as the market becomes extremely commoditized in some areas. Definitely, content will play a major difference.
And it's really interesting, right? So my last questions regards what kind of predictions can you tell us in, I don't know, in how many years do you see carriers embracing mobile commerce beyond payments and releasing more advanced or more innovative solutions?
Well, honestly, I think it's not going to take long. AT&T is one of the providers that have a very good set of solutions, custom and tailor-made to the m-commerce environment to mobile merchants. And AT&T, they've just purchased USSL in Mexico, and so it might be like uh, an entry point for them to start developing these type of solutions within Latin America, I would
Maybe
say.
see something coming from Mexico, and maybe it can be used as case study for other
Yeah,
carriers.
exactly. It might be. It might be. So I don't see this like taking long. I think that the operators also in Brazil, they're quite well developed. If you see TIM and Vivo, they've embraced specific areas as an aggregator of of
Hmm.
um, of merchants itself. So, but I think that you have still a very good landscape to be explored. I think that in terms of the trends, as you asked, what I foresee for the future is definitely a better use of big data. Also, being part of the mobile commerce, operators they do have a very good database, of the clients that they can explore and develop like specific loyalty marketing, customer centric services to support these merchants and mobile merchants better. with more information and custom-made information. So definitely, I think that big data will play a big role in terms of the trends for the years to come.
Okay, I was mute. That's pretty interesting how carriers are put big data and use their database to help merchants to improve their offerings. So I'd like to thank you a lot, Marcelo Kawanami, Senior Analyst at Parim Research, for joining our RCR Wireless News in this hangout.
Thank you very much, Roberto, for the invitation. It was a pleasure.
Follow all RCR Wireless News at rcrwireless.com.